we been locked in. I folded some dimes off the smoke muscle. While I'm always gonna shine off the damn hustle. That's the shit that's inside, keep my mind right. Knowing Smokey gon' pop when the time's right. Let them boys be the...
Yeah, back in here again, man. What up, family? We right back in here again. We got another one, man. While they stuck in narrative land, while they stuck in, you know, making stories out of nothing, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the future, man. We're going to take a look and see what's going on and what additions we have and what we can possibly see them doing as far as with Coach Monken and what he wants to do with the offense as far as for the Cleveland Browns, man. Let's go ahead and dive right in without further ado. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. Let's get straight to it. Boom. KC Concepcion, man. Let's take a look at him. Receiver out of Texas A&M. Man, he was a wide receiver. Now he's for the Browns. He earned a 78.4 overall Pro Football Focus grade. Excuse me. That's for 2025. That's 77th among 679 qualified wide receivers. His PFF receiving grade, 79.9, ranked 73rd among 679 qualified wide receivers. He hauled in 61 receptions for 101 targets for 919 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. Concepcion averaged 15.1 yards, and that's on the season. Okay? He generated 440 yards after the catch. Now, that's a key thing right there. He has 919 yards, and damn near half of them, damn near half of them basically are yak yards, which means he's catching the ball and getting busy. Like, he's going to work after he catches the ball. That's a lot of yak yards for him to have 919 on the season. That's crazy work. So he's really catching the ball and getting busy. This is somebody that you're looking at. Once again, we talked about this before in prior videos. This is somebody that's quick and shifty. You want to get him in space. Can he play the one on the outside? Yes, he can be your number one wide receiver. He can be your X or your Z. He can be your Y. He can play whatever you want him to play. He can play inside, outside. But this is somebody that's very versatile. Also a return man. Somebody that's going to be a key contributor in the special teams. And as we know as Browns fans, man, the special teams has been terrible. We can't buy a return. We can't buy quality coverage. So this is somebody that you can expect to be an X factor day one, returning punts. I would see him returning kicks. He didn't return kicks in college, but we don't got a kick returner. Who you want to see back there? Gage Larvidan, or would you rather see KC Concepcion? I'll take KC back there every trip. Let's go ahead and dive in, man. Let's see what he's talking about here. This is his combine workout.
Head coach in here the other day, and KC Concepcion, wide receiver out of Texas A&M, who's someone that's real electric when you watch him on video. You get a chance to see him run the 40, but get a chance to see him work out. I think you'll see some of the things that we saw on tape. Explosive after the catch, big time burst. This guy gets out in the open field and he pulls away from everybody. Big time pluck and go here. Once he catches it, he transitions up the field.
The first two clips, do we notice the acceleration? Okay, after he's catching the ball, he is getting busy. That's something we haven't seen as far as for a Browns team. Our offense hasn't been that potent with playmakers that's really getting the ball and then separating after they get the ball. Okay, nobody's catching the ball, breaking 2 tackles, and getting upfield. We're seeing people catch the ball and get tackled. Catch the ball, get tackled, drop the ball. Things like that. Now, he struggled with drops. I don't think it's going to be an issue. There's been a few people. Ted McMillan, whatever his name is, Ted McMillan for the Panthers. My boy struggled with drops in college. Don't seem to have bothered him in the NFL, so I'm not really worried about that with KC, man. Let's continue to watch.
Fly. Now, there are some drops. He has had some drops this year. I think they're more concentration than hands. There's the quickness at the line of scrimmage. Then, oh, by the way, in the return game, he had 2 punt return for touchdowns as well, which has always been a good indicator for.
We made mention of him being the usage in the special teams. As you can see right here, he's running a kickback. Don't mind me knocking my mic over twice. Stay focused on the vid, man. Stay focused on the vid. Pay attention back there.
Wideouts, guys that have that type of juice and performance in the return game, usually that equates quite well on the offensive side of the ball. So you look at Matthew Golden from last year. We discussed him the other day, Rich, and I think there's a big year coming for him in year number 2, but very similar size guys.
I think a better comparison would be Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay, somebody that's quick, gadgety, also can make the 50-50 catches in traffic, people that's going to route you up, though, and then get busy once they get the ball. I think that's a better comparison. I like Golden as well, but Amon-Ra is a better comparison to me. Just like Makai and Lemon. These are two similar guys. I actually think KC is more shifty than Makai. Makai seems a bit stiff in the hips when I watch his tape. But KC is getting down. He's getting out of breaks. I'm talking about the hip shifting is ridiculous, bro. My boy is getting in and out of cuts, and he's getting up the field in vertical.
And both guys play extremely fast.
He was a first-round wide receiver. Actually, one of my favorite moments of the draft, when Mark Murphy got out there and basically let everyone know the first-round wide receiver drought was finally over for Green Bay. Stacey Dales, take it away.
Yeah, to add on to this conversation, DJ mentioned the drops for KC Concepcion, and we spoke to him this week. Guys, I can't tell you how many times he brought up the fact that he needs to have better concentration.
They're mentioning the drops. We talked about that. I don't think it's going to be a factor. They can hang on to it. I'm glad that allowed them to fall to us, and we got them where we was able to get them because they worried about some drops. Look at what it says. Nation's most versatile player. What's been a key thing as far as Todd Monken and what's going on? We want versatility, not just on the offensive line, but we're getting people that are playmakers, people that can do multiple things. That way when we line up on offense, the defense doesn't know how we're going to hit them. That's called being versatile. How better to do that than to add the nation's most versatile player? Let's see him work.
Here's KC Concepcion. First time we're getting a look at him today.
Smooth hands.
This is not real full speed here. Just trying to get going.
Coming out of there the year before.
That's smooth. Hands catches. That's smooth.
Concepcion.
That's smooth.
Yeah, I talked about the 7 drops that he had. There's a focus on that drill.
Oh,
excellent.
My goodness. That was nice. Smooth. Out-breaking route.
Good balls there from him.
That's great.
Back here watching quarterbacks throw.
Okay. You see him catch it in the hands.
By stepping
outside,
up,
he's not allowed to get to his body. That's a great catch.
Well, it's a lot easier too, CD, when you're throwing these working back to you as opposed to
quarterbacks throw.
Run this one back.
By stepping up and hitting.
Look how he sits down on the break in his hitch.
Well, it's a lot easier too, CD.
Look how he's low in his break already. That's what I love to see. You see the level change. He was running high, and now he's breaking down. Now watch him accelerate out of there. Let's see him accelerate.
Throwing these working back
right back to the
as
ball.
opposed to those
That's
deep
nice.
routes.
I like that.
Throw 2's a little bit better, so they're throwing it at our right.
Deep ball. Straight up the field.
That's a better ball.
That's nice. Good ball. Great catch.
Yeah, he'll run you over.
You remember the big 4?
Once again, look at the hip change, the level change. You see how he's sitting down in the break? Let's take a look at that. You see how he's sitting down in the break right here? He is sat down on that.
Down against Oregon.
Getting back, accelerating to the ball. Getting back to the ball. Getting back to the ball now. Inside release, outside release.
You'll see him in these goal line situations like this. He's going to be running slant.
Make sure.
Just look at this.
Yeah, he'll run you over.
You remember the
last one, break down on it.
Oregon, they
get back to it,
play with
accelerate
him,
up the field.
Make sure.
Now let's watch this one. He gonna give him the stutter step inside, back outside. Bow, bow, bow.
KC Concepcion, you'll see him.
Look at the high point. Look at the elevation. That's what I'm talking about. That's somebody athletic to get to the ball. What's up, Okie Doke? Hey, man, this is my son, man. Y'all see him out here, Baby Smoke. He had a flag football game today for the Dolphins. My boy played tough, man. He played tough, kept his head up. He showed a lot of effort and hustle today. He scored him a long touchdown, too, didn't you, bud? Yes, sir. All right, man, let's continue watching KC.
In these goal line situations like this, he's going to be running slants and quick out.
Athletic ability, but also Vincial. And the way he throws the football, same thing. And here's KC Concepcion.
Yeah, he didn't run the 40, but he went out there. He told our Stacey Dales.
Now, we saw this already, so let's go ahead and dive in. You've heard some of the things that I've said, but you might not believe it when I'm telling you. You might not understand what I'm saying when I'm breaking it down. So let's hear it from somebody else. What they talking about, man?
Teams in need of a playmaker have to be looking hard at KC Concepcion. There's not a receiver in this draft class that can separate like this guy. On this first rep, he's at the bottom of the screen running a dig, but this corner and man coverage is playing with inside leverage, so he's got some work to do here. At the snap, he's going to release vertical, and at about the midway point of the route, he's going to break the stem inside using his hands to avoid contact. And here's the best part of the route right here. He climbs back on a vertical stem, And once he gets to his depth landmark, he snaps it off, sending the corner sliding head first like he's on a slip and slide. That is teach tape on how you run an in-breaking route against inside leverage. Just poetry in motion. Again down here at the bottom against this soft press technique, he's going to take an outside release and does a great job getting over the top of the corner, leaning into him, getting his hips open to the middle of the field, and bang. Snaps that thing off towards the pylon, and just look at that separation. And when he gets the ball in his hands, he turns into a running back. He's extremely difficult to get on the ground. Now, this might be the cleanest release I've seen from any receiver in this draft cycle. He's going to be lined up in the slots of the field, and just watch how sudden and smooth he is off the line. He's not even 5 yards into his route and already has 3 yards of separation.
Slow feet don't eat.
That DB looks like he's standing in quick.
Are we seeing this right here? The DB ain't even, he can't even open yet. He hasn't even opened his hips yet, and my boy is already 2 yards past him.
This dude's just crazy explosive. This last rep is really impressive, as you're going to see him in motion pre-snap. And Mansour Delane, who most people think will be a top 10 pick this year.
Hey, that's who Kansas City literally traded up with us to get. So, Browns fans, take notice of this. Kansas City literally traded up with us. We moved from 6 to 9, and I think we added either 2 or 3 additional picks in the draft, and maybe one more in 27 next year. Okay, for them to get this guy, this top corner, Delane. Now let's watch KC work against Delane here.
Follows him in man coverage. Now KC just runs a simple whip route here, plucks the ball out of the air, and watch how fast he transitions from pass catcher to ball carrier. Now watch the move.
Oh my!
Turns what should have been a 5-yard gain into a 20-yard gain.
That's a Yeeky man right there.
Fresh set of downs too.
Yeeky?
Whoever drafts this guy needs to get him the ball and just let him make plays. NFL teams in the...
Okay, so that's what we talked about. Once again, we talked about somebody that you want to just get the ball in his hands and let him work. He had 919 receiving yards, but 440 of them were yak yards, which means this guy is catching the ball in traffic and getting busy. He's getting to work. He can catch it in space and go without being touched. But if there's people in the vicinity, generally that first person isn't bringing him down. You guys don't believe it from me? Let's hear somebody else.
Concepcion is lightning. Concepcion is a guy who gets in the end zone. The Cleveland Browns desperately need guys that can take the football and put it in the paint, if you will. I did a breakdown. I want to walk you through exactly what I think is unique in the top 3 things that I think are going to translate for the Cleveland Browns and what they just got in Concepcion.
Quick pause here. This is McShay. This is the McShay Show, okay? Everybody loves to give him a lot of respect, a lot of credit, a lot of credence. So, with that being said, let's see what he has to say.
At the 24th overall pick. The first is this beautiful blend of vision and acceleration after the catch. Watch right here, right? He'll break this quick tackle, and that's not even about his game. His game is getting upfield and exploding after the catch. So here's the catch, and right away, the quick transition.
Strong hands.
Go. He just has this sense where to cut, when to cut, and that makes 4.45 speed 4.3 football speed. There is a suddenness to his game that I like. I want you to watch this. Working against press coverage, it'll be better in the league, I get it, but watch. That ability to separate real quickly when you're exploding off the line of scrimmage and you got to pick up a quick game or in the red zone. I like that about him. And then here's the final thing that I love about Concepcion's game, the awareness. I think this is going to serve him so well in the NFL. Watch this corner, right? He's working this as if, okay, if it's man-to-man, I've got to work that outside in, and then he recognizes the safety. That's the
and he comes back to the ball. Did you see him work back to the ball? He could have kept vertical to the back of the end zone, but that would have left the defenders in front of him. He comes back to the football, works back, and snags this out of the air. This is great work. This is great work by KC right here.
A second. He works to his left. The arm goes up. Concepcion says, hey, get the ball to me. Reed does here. It's a touchdown. This is going to work in the NFL.
One more
on this matchup between Casey Concepcion and Mansour Delane when they face each other. I recently saw a video where Louis Van Nuys compared who had the better rep between D'Angelo Ponce and Jeremiah Smith. And I was scrolling through Twitter, and then I saw Casey Concepcion versus Mansour Delane. The first matchup between the two, we see Mansour Delane in an outside leverage position. Casey Concepcion goes for a left foot stutter step to try to get him off balance, where Delane goes hands-on. At the time of this route being developed, we see Marshall Reed has his first option looking straight at him. as a route keeper.
This is another thing I want to issue. He did not have the greatest quarterback play. KC's numbers can be a lot of deflated. You can attribute a lot of deflation to his numbers due to bad offensive line and bad quarterback play. That your teammates have to help you out to play. If your teammates don't help you out, you can't make plays. So, with that being said, if you have quarterback play that's not really doing their thing, not really getting active, then you're going to have missed opportunities in the passing game. And when you watch KC's film, there's a lot of time where he's running wide open, running down the field wide open. Quarterback is either under duress or just doesn't see him. So when you take that into consideration, I think he's going to have better quarterback play with Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders. I'm leaning towards Shedeur Sanders, but honestly, I think this is going to be a great fit for the Browns offense and what Todd Monken loves to do. Let's go ahead and finish this short, and then we'll get into some all-22 film courtesy of some guys that I love to watch on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get into the rest of this real quick.
Keeps developing, we see the pressure keeps building, and Marshall Reed has to escape. At that point, he has one step, but at the same time, the pressure is starting to build. So, I would give this rep to Mansour Lane because he kept his coverage in a good spot where Marshall Reed couldn't throw. And as he gets open towards the end with a lot of vertical speed,
hey, that speed, he's still passing. They talking about speed might not be a factor. He's not that fast. That shows some speed against a top corner, a top 10 drafted corner right there. He still broke away at the end of the route with tight coverage on it.
Marshall Reed at this point is running to get a first down. In the second matchup, we see Concepcion in a bunch formation to the wide side of the field. The lane is about 10 yards away in an off coverage or a cushion technique. As we see, Concepcion runs a zig route here and gets the lane stumbling.
We've seen this before.
He also missed the tackle.
Out of there.
Big.
So, some of the same things that we've been saying, that quick twitchiness on the routes. He can run those short intermediate routes, but he can also get vertical, get going on you on a post corner, 9 routes. He's there. He's versatile. That's why they had him as the nation's most versatile player. Okay, before we get up out of here, let's go ahead and tap into one more thing here. Let's look at a little bit of this all-22 film for KC Concepcion, man. This is courtesy of the Fantasy Football Strategist. Subscribe to them guys. I'm not subscribed, but you subscribe. I watch a lot of their work. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? We'll be a good sport here. We'll go ahead and subscribe to them now. You know what I mean? We'll watch some of their breakdowns from time to time, and we've used them before. So shout out those guys.
Now, while some all-22 clips display some of what I'm going to be...
Pause. Did everybody notice where he was lined up at? This is a backfield snap. So look, go ahead and shout out these guys. Go ahead, follow them, all of that. But let's take a look at where KC is lined up here at the beginning of this play.
3-minute brief synopsis in which I've written about. Appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
He's at running
now, while
back.
some all-22 clips display some of what I'm going to be mentioning here, I'm going to read you an around 3-minute brief synopsis in which I've written about KC's strengths and weaknesses. So, KC is a true junior out of Texas A&M who projects to be a Z/slot receiver at the NFL level. You know, he was at around 35% slot percentage and...
My goodness. He broke himself off out the route. How quick and twitchy.
64% boundary percentage. I think that could potentially
the stiff arm
flip a little bit, but
get off me.
I do think that he stands to be able to play both positions at the NFL level. But he stands at 5'11" and 190 pounds and will be a dynamic weapon for an NFL offense.
Okay, he's talking. Let's see him work here out of the scramble drill. Let's go back. See if we can catch it back right here.
He was at around 35% slot percentage and 64% boundary percentage. I think that could potentially flip
now,
a little bit. Let's
go ahead and take a look at this right here.
I do.
Okay, let's shut him up because he's not really talking about what he's doing on the field. Let's take a look at this. Okay, boom. We got a simple stop route. Boom. We stop here. We sit down in the zone. Now we get active because it's a rollout. That's a great scramble drill. That's a great scramble drill and awareness to get to the sideline. We like that. Is this a wildcat snap? Wow, a wildcat. Did he get to the zone on that? That is crazy, folks. Let's go ahead and take... No. We got to take another look at this. This is a KC Concepcion wildcat snap. He's at the wildcat quarterback here. He's going to take this and just get busy. Boop, 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 boop. Look at him maneuver through traffic. And that's what you want to see. So ultimately, when we break this down and we think about it, this is somebody that can be used in any type of personnel. Whether you're using 3 wide receivers, 2 wide receivers, even 1 wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy, you better be on your P's and Q's because KC is in the building. We know we got Denzel Boston, and we might do a breakdown on him later today as well. But KC Concepcion is going to be a game changer for whoever's at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. This young man is primed and ready to go. He's ready to get busy in the short and intermediate game, the return game, and also the vertical passing game. Once again, they have him labeled as the most versatile player in this draft. Think about that. You've added that to your addition, Cleveland Browns. It's going to get scary. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what you're thinking as far as the Browns season. Quick question. How many wins you got the Browns having this year? I got them at 10 wins. I got them at 10 wins. You say 5? They only going to win 5 games? We won 5 last year. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. 10 wins, man. 10-win Browns. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments, man.
Got dog and it's ready to bark. That's road is ready to spark. It's the end, but I'm here from the start. Each day I wake up and clock in. Know my family been straight, we been locked in. I'll float some dimes off the smoke muscle. While I'm always gonna shine up the damn hustle.